Good morning, everybody, and thanks for waking up with the Chase.
No way.
My God!
That's a 1-1, ladies and gentlemen.
Go to Dave's.
I must ask you a question right now. That's a 1-1, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, hell yeah, brother.
Holy what?
Sit back, relax, and crack a cold one. The Chase is live. Ladies and gentlemen, ushering in a new era. That's right. We showed you an RIP in peace to the 9 a.m. Welcome to the 11 a.m. Chase. And I think it's only one way to do it. Ring it in with a nice little... There we go. Crack one open. Yeah, how about... Hey, does anybody recognize this guy? It's kind of his show. It says the Chase. I don't know if you see here on the mat, it says Dave and Adams. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen, this week, last week, we've been promoting it like crazy that he was going to be on the show. Here he is, our CEO.
Dave. No, sorry.
No. Adam, can I use your government name?
What's my government name?
Adam, your last name? Should I share that?
Martin?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Adam Martin. So really AMA is actually Ask Martin Anything. That's how we're doing it.
I thought you knew something I didn't know. It's like, what's my actual name?
Well, you know, when we interview people, we really like to research it. So, you know, I went in the deep archives.
I've got LifeLock VIP. I'm good.
See, this guy knows.
I'm safe.
He's smart. He's smart. So, Adam, we've been waiting to get you on. 61 episodes. You had a brief spot at the National. You did great coming in and filling in, but thank you for joining us.
Yeah, a certain Panini guest was too hungover to appear at the National, so I filled in briefly.
You know who you are.
You know who you are. If
we won't name names.
We won't name you.
We won't name names.
Kevin.
But
Kevin.
can we use his? Yeah, I don't know if we can use his government name.
okay.
Yeah, we'll just without whole government name, we'll do it there.
That's all
but
right. That's all right.
thank you for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm happy to be on my own show.
Yeah, I mean this is your show, so
It is.
yeah, you look good right in the center there. So we've been billing this as an Ask Me Anything. So are you up for that? You're good for just about everything?
I haven't looked at the question, so I think I'm up for just about anything.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll find out.
We'll give it a try.
We'll find out. So, chat, obviously, if you want to ask some questions as well, we'll filter through those. We have Elena looking at those, so we'll get to you guys as well. First one here, I don't know how this snuck in. Troy L. He asks, what's your sign? Are you an Aquarius, Libra,
Troy L.
Cancer?
This is from Troy L.
Wonder who that is.
I am a proud Leo.
Proud Leo, fellow Leo here.
Yeah.
If you don't know, now you know.
Yeah.
All right, we got that out of the way. Now let's give you the real
That
one.
was an easy one.
That was we wanted to ease you into this.
Okay.
All right, first one here. We've been getting this question from like dozens of people. So they want to know. The people out there want to know. There's been a lot of rumors, a lot of speculations about Fanatics and Panini. What can you tell us about this?
I get this question literally every day from breakers, from shop owners, from anybody I made the misfortune of giving my phone number to. I get this question. So I have these fancy things called NDAs signed, non-disclosure agreements. Those are legal documents that prevent me from talking about certain things. And this is absolutely one of those things that if I talk about it, I can get in actual legal hot water. If somebody wanted to punish me, they could if I talk about it. How's that?
Now listen, I know you got the LifeLock. I understand that. I know you got LifeLock, but come on, and anything.
Anything.
This is Ask Martin Anything.
So I would say Martin. That's my last name.
Huh?
I would say that I'll say something that's not really shocking. Yes. So I think everybody kind of knows this. Is that so? Right now, Panini has a license to continue to make NBA and NFL trading cards for 3 or 4 years. Mm-hmm. That's probably going to change fairly soon.
Wow.
How's that? Is
Okay.
that okay?
That,
Okay? I get in trouble for that?
I'm okay
Fairly
with that.
soon?
Chad, are you okay with that? I think they're
Fairly
good.
soon? I don't think
Fairly
I don't think I'm
soon,
saying
huh?
anything that people don't know, and I can just say fairly soon.
Okay.
Hey,
So we
less
scooted
than
around
3
it.
years.
Less than 3
Less
years.
than 3 years.
So there you guys.
I don't know.
There you guys go. Keep an eye out for that. Less than 3 years. That's all we're giving you. That's all Adam's
less
giving
than 3
you.
years.
Okay.
We did say anything, and you gave us
Anything.
something.
That's
I
anything.
gave you
That's
something.
something.
Yeah, ask me something that I can actually talk about.
All right. For the next question, I'm going to toss it over to David.
Okay.
We'll do a little back and forth. So
Yes.
David, why don't you go next?
Okay.
Adam, one of our questions was, how did your collecting journey begin in this hobby?
How did I start collecting? So a little boy in the mid 70s, my dad came home one day from work and he had a couple packs of 74.5 Topps hockey cards. So I'm dating myself a little bit there. And he gave one to myself and one to my little brother, and I was hooked, and I collected hockey cards right up until Gretzky's rookie year. I stopped because I discovered women. And so I stopped collecting cards in 1979. So I missed out on that, but that was my era. I was hooked from there. And then went through, high school, and I was walking down the street to get to college because I didn't have a car. And I walked by a baseball card store, and the long and the short of it is I got a little job in there, and I part-time job, and I love the whole buying and selling aspect. So I started doing card shows and everything, and that kind of led to where we are today. But purely from a collecting standpoint, I had the bug right then in the 70s, and I've always collected something.
Yeah.
Obviously, I had the Honus Wagner on the show. I guess technically that's part of my collection.
He was quite the talker.
He was good, and
He was a great guest.
And I collect vintage Star Wars toys. Those are nostalgic to me. Beatles, even though I never saw them,
Right.
live or anything. And of course, vintage cards, especially pre-war, like pre-World War I
Yeah,
cards.
yeah.
That's my main passion for collecting. But
Which is amazing. Amazing. Like how do you feel that you keep yourself into it after all these years? Because you've obviously seen everything. You know what I mean? So to still be passionate about collecting, how do you keep that passion, you think?
it's a good question. There's always, of all the things I've been able to over the last few years, I've bought a lot of cool stuff for myself, and it's drop in the bucket compared to all the great things that are out there. So, the list, it's not infinite of different things I need or that I would like to have in my collection, but because of that, you just keep going. So you never run out of anything I never run out of anything I'm interested in collecting for myself.
And it's funny you bring that up because we actually have one here from Donnie S. He says, congratulations on acquiring the Honus Wagner. It's the ultimate white whale.
Yeah.
And becoming its custodian shows even greater commitment to the hobby world, if that was possible. Where do you go from here? And do you have your sights on another crown jewel?
I do. So I need 2 more cards for the T206 set. I need the Eddie Plank, which is still a 6-figure card. And I need this Doyle pitching variation, which is much rarer than the Wagner. And I'm trying to convince myself I don't need it for the set, but I'm gonna try to get it. So I have 2 cards left to go there, and the Plank is not that tough, but it's still like
It's elusive.
It's still like a house.
Yeah.
So it's like expensive. So I have to really think about it. Just we just spent a lot on one card. So, but I need 2 more cards for that, and the Doyle is really, really tough. I mean, like I've only seen one pop up in the last 4 or 5 years. And,
No kidding.
And one was in a Mile High auction. Shout out to Brian Drent, and I bid what I thought was fair for it, and I wasn't even close.
Wow.
Wasn't close.
So that goes to show right there just how rare it is and how hard it is to acquire that one.
Now, while we're on the topic of your collection, obviously you just got the Wagner last week. What would you say is your favorite piece to your collection?
My favorite piece for my collection, I have a T206 Christy Matheson Dark Cap. It's always been my favorite card. I bought that in an 8 in a Robert Edwards auction before things went crazy. And so not only did I get into it at a price that's great compared to now, but I just love that card. My 52 mantle, I love my 52 mantle. I mean, I could go on and on about my collection, but let's talk about the industry.
You want to talk about the industry?
Yeah, let's not talk about me. I'm boring.
I don't know about that. I don't know about all that. You're a little too humble there. I do want to ask this here because I see one kind of in the chat, and we have some similar questions here. Is there any thoughts to opening regional stores or distribution centers in the U.S.? Northeast is covered. How about Southeast, Northwest, and Northeastern?
Well, that's a good question. Like an actual brick and mortar store, because our account with UPS is pretty good. We can get everything in this country, anywhere in this country, in 3 days. So that's a great question. So I'll have that's a two-parter. So number one, our focus right now is on expanding ourselves into what we call emerging markets, and that's places that are growing that don't have representation for distribution of unopened boxes, right? So that's where we're looking at. So Europe is growing. So of course, this year we opened a brick and mortar store in the Netherlands, and then of course a website to support it. And that's growing slowly, but very positively. Happy with that. So our next step is now we're looking at London because of Brexit. They kind of have to have a separate website. So now we're hoping to open up in London by the middle of this year with a supporting website also for the United Kingdom. Then after that, we're thinking Vienna is our working title in Austria. So Vienna in 2024. And so that's more Eastern Europe. And then, believe it or not, South Korea. So South Korea is an emerging market that is greatly underserved. So if somebody wants to beat me to it, they can, because I just spilled the beans on my own show. But we like South Korea, and that could be the end of that could be even as soon as next year as well. Now, for North America, I would like to open up in Canada. I think we could do a good job in Canada. Buffalo, we're right on the border. So, I mean, literally, I could have people from our team here who are commuting to Canada, and their ride to work might be just as long as their ride to work is here in Tonawanda. Mm-hmm. So I like Canada, but there are some rules about where I'm allowed to sell hockey cards that right now do not apply to Canada.
Sure.
So I kind of have to get that fixed.
Yeah.
If I was going to open Canada. So I've worked on that. I put the feelers out there. So far, no positive results, but I haven't given up. And then other than that, I was in Fort Worth over the weekend, and they don't have a card store. Like in Fort Worth, Texas.
No kidding.
It's millions of people.
Yeah, I would say that's a big city.
So I will say there are big communities, and maybe some of you live in one, that are unbelievably underserved. And if Fanatics and Panini, if my future in this industry as it's kind of changing, if they say, hey, Adam, we'd like you to open up in some of these underserved areas, I absolutely will. But right now, it's going to take them asking me to do it for me to probably expand elsewhere into the United States.
Okay.
Which could happen. We have a store in Cooperstown. I never expected we would have that.
Yeah, right. So it's kind of a never say never situation.
That's
like you said, emerging markets kind of looking.
Canton, Ohio would make sense.
Yeah.
We have one near the Baseball Hall of Fame. Why not near the Football Hall of Fame?
Be amazing.
So we'll see.
All right.
Massachusetts with the
Springfield. Yeah, Springfield with the Basketball Hall of Fame. So there you go.
Swimming Hall of Fame, Fort Lauderdale. It's random.
Swimming. I love that.
Well, it'd be great to have everybody here would apply to go work in Fort Lauderdale.
Right? Yeah.
We lose all of our people in Buffalo.
Big part. Yeah, right. That's true.
Everybody apply to work down there.
Yeah. Everybody would be going to Fort Lauderdale for sure.
Yeah.
So, Adam, 5 years ago, this is from Jared S. 5 years ago, where did you see the hobby compared to where it is actually today? And to follow up on that, where do you see the hobby going 5 years from now?
Oh, my gosh. So 5 years ago, my good friend Lloyd Key over at GTS, I told him 5 years ago, I think we were having a couple drinks somewhere, and I said, I don't think this thing is sustainable. This is like a 2017 conversation. I said, I don't know how long this can keep going.
Yeah.
And then, of course, 2020, the whole industry exploded.
Uh-huh.
And it's softer now than it was. It couldn't stay where it was forever. So 5 years ago, if you'd asked me, I would have been 100% wrong. And I think that's because I'm just kind of a glass half empty guy. Because if you're a business owner and you don't really look at risks and you don't look at downside, you're setting yourself up for a big fail. At least that's how I like to look at it. I think I'm a reasonable person from a logic standpoint. But I always try to look at what's the worst case scenario. And I think in 2017, I was thinking, I'm not sure where this is going to go. Everything was coming out, was being closed out. Prism wasn't a thing. People didn't care about Prism in 2017, and then it got better and better. And by 2019, with Gary Vee and some of these guys out there looking at our industry, and things started to get better and better. And then COVID just kind of pushed it over the edge, and everything went nuts. And I was able to buy a Honus Wagner card. I mean, things went nuts.
Yeah.
And now it's definitely it's coming back to earth. I think if you're a collector, you'll see more opportunities to be able to buy boxes at more normal ranges than you have in the past year or two, which unfortunately I think pushed a lot of people out. You can't buy hobby boxes and easily and not have a really good job. You just can't be. The barrier to entry to this hobby, I always say, is tough. If you want to buy a good box of basketball cards, maybe your son gets into cards and you want to buy him a box of basketball cards. We can buy him this box of basketball cards or this big screen TV for his room. Those are kind of your choices.
Sure.
And so now I think the price points are coming down, and so I think more people can get back into it. More people can collect now than could have a year ago. So that's a nice sign. So where do I see it going in 5 years? So I still think it's not going to go back to what it was in 2015, 16. I think it'll continue to remain pretty strong. There's a lot more people in it than there used to be. But the manufacturers have to do things right. The boxes have to have value to hold these types of price points. And so I think there's some work to be done behind the scenes here by the leagues and the manufacturers to make sure that this hobby is going to remain strong. And, Fanatics, if you listen to Michael Rubin talk, he says that these companies haven't put any money into marketing, and he's going to just put tons of marketing in. We may see Super Bowl commercials for trading cards, like something you never would have imagined seeing.
Yeah.
And then we get Kenny Golden shows coming out in January on Netflix, and that's going to be one of these reality shows that's actual reality. Not Storage Wars where they find a 15th century African headdress in a storage unit in Oklahoma.
That definitely wasn't planted there.
like that. Yeah, definitely not planted. So his show is going to be real. It's going to be interesting. So I think there's some good things coming along that are going to pump the hobby up. Fanatics certainly is going to work to expose more people to it than have been. There have been, but I feel good about the next 5 years. I don't think we'll see 2021 and 2020 ever again, though.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong. Those were great. Those were great years.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's something that you want, but like you said, kind of logistical standpoint, you're looking at it from.
It's glass half full. I hope it just stays at this level forever. I would be fine with that, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Entertainment too. You got that Adam Sandler movie.
Oh yeah.
In the works.
Uh-huh.
So. Yeah, we'll see how he treats us.
No, are you gonna make a?
I don't know.
Are you gonna make a cameo appearance?
I will make a cameo appearance if they ask me to.
If
Absolutely.
someone was going to play you in that movie, who would you want to play you?
Me, I want to play me.
You want to play you?
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
Adam Martin as himself.
Adam Martin as himself.
I can imitate myself really well. So
Give us a quick little something.
hi, I'm Adam Martin.
There you go. Perfect. That's perfect. It's honestly, that was great.
Perfect, thank you.
That was great. Well done. See, that's Safety Brothers right here. This is the reel that he's going to send in if he wants that spot in the movie.
That's right.
All right, next one here from PJG. What is the one thing that you would say sets DACW apart from other companies to win local card shop of the year back to back?
Oh gosh. Well, we're very fortunate that our inventory, we have a lot of inventory. We have positioned ourselves with the manufacturers to get large allocations. If you open up a card store today, it would be hard for you to get an account with Panini. I think you have to be open for a year before you even get an account.
Yeah.
So we're fortunate. We've been in this for a long time. We get nice allocations, and so we can provide our store with lots of options, trading card options that other stores, it would be very difficult. There's some great stores in this country. I've been to some unbelievable stores, who frankly, some of them I like better than my own. Some of them are real loungy and social, which we're working on. Some of them have like stacks of flawless basketball cases. We don't put that in our store. But as far as the selection and price points, if you're a collector, if you're a card collector and you come into our store, you should, especially for unopened, it's pretty overwhelming what we're able to do there. And so that means people come here from all over.
Yeah.
People come here from, people fly here. People come from hours away just to spend the day in the store. And so we're working on making it even more engaging for people. We're putting in a bar.
Yeah.
So
That's going to be something, ladies and
go on
gentlemen.
a Friday night, rip a box of cards. We'll be doing live breaking there, and you can have a draft beer while you're hanging out and some mozzarella sticks or something like that. So that's
Just
the
make sure-
David Adams 2024 mozzarella sticks and beer. I think that's what our employees are going to have on their shirts.
Mozzarella sticks and beer.
Mozzarella
Just
sticks and beer 2024.
Make sure you wash your hands after the mozzarella sticks before handling the cards, okay?
That's right,
That's
yeah,
all I'm
yeah.
saying. Just a word to the wise.
It's a very good point.
Just a word to the
Sure.
wise. We have one. Sorry, David. I didn't mean to
no,
jump
go
in
ahead.
here.
Wait, I got one more thing.
Go ahead.
And we have really good people there. There you go.
Well, it's funny because I have worked on both sides of it. I worked retail before and now in this position, but definitely that was one of my most favorite things, though, is getting to interact with those people. And like you said, making it a destination spot where people wanted to come and sit and rip
That's it.
and hang out.
That's it. And
So-
we're working on making that even bigger.
Absolutely.
Before we get to Elena, Wahoo's asked, will there be chicken wings?
Maybe we're not putting like look, I'm a wing snob. I mean, you got to do wings right, and to do that, in my opinion, you need deep fryers.
Yes.
And
Which is a whole
when
other-
you're a ball card store serving food, you're going to use a hot air fryer. And I've got a friend who owns a bar, and he serves wings, and he uses a hot air fryer. And he goes, "Our wings are really good." And I said, "No, they're not."
Straight up told him.
You're using a hot
Garbage.
air fryer. These
Yeah.
are like diet wings. You can't serve diet
Nope.
wings.
You need
so
that
will I
grease.
have wings in our store with a hot air fryer? I'll have I'll have chicken fingers.
There you go.
maybe.
I think that's a
But
good
I'm
compromise.
offended by hot air wings as a Buffalonian, so I will not have wings. I hope we don't have wings.
No.
Hey,
There you go.
I might get outvoted. Maybe that's what everybody wants is hot air fried wings. But it's Halloween. It's the scariest thing I can think of on Halloween.
Yeah,
Hot
right.
Air fried wings. Ugh.
I would say nightmare inducing. Nightmare inducing. All right, Elena, I saw your hand up. You have one from the chat, so why don't you go ahead and you got the floor.
Yeah, so Teak Guy, he's a first-time chatter. He asked Adam, do you regret selling that 1952 Topps case? Because as we said, it was possibly the greatest baseball card artifact in the world.
Yeah, I hate that I did that. That was so dumb. Yeah, and it was, it sounds like it was a full case. It was not a full case, right? So, we're talking about 52 Topps. You can't talk about 52 Topps without talking to the Al Rosen find. I think it's from 86, where a truck driver, like a former truck driver for Topps or for whoever, takes a case of 52 high number, right, the Mantle series,
Yeah.
and puts it in his attic. Did he steal it? Yeah, he stole it, but he put it in his attic, right? So 30-something years later, his son or whatever finds this case of 52 high numbers, and he opens it. He opens this case, 24 boxes, 24 packs, 6 cards a pack. He opens it up. Well, the Mantle was double printed, so it was 100 cards in the set. So there were 97 cards in the set, 100 on the
Yeah.
sheet, so they double printed Jackie Robinson, Mantle, and I think Bobby Thompson. So in that case, the guy gets like 70 Mantle rookies, 70 52 Topps Mantles. And then,
Insane.
so all the SGC 9.5 that just sold for $12.6 million, that came out of that find. The 3 PSA 10s that exist in the world, those came out of that find. I think all the PSA 9s came out of that find. I mean, and so great. So this happens, and then Al Rosen, he's kind of getting out of the business a little. He sells the only thing he ever kept. He kept the empty case, just a cardboard empty case,
Yeah.
52 Topps high case. And he sold it to another guy who sold it to me, and the guy sold it to me for $7,000. And I'm thinking, this is a hobby artifact, $7,000.
Yeah.
And we put it on the website, we bring it to shows, and people are like, you're selling a cardboard box for, I think we're trying to get $20,000. Said, you're selling a cardboard box for $20,000? I went, yeah, but it's the 52 high
But it's
case from the
52.
Rosen find. It's the only one that exists. And we ended up selling it to a good customer for $7,000 for what we paid for it. And this is, I don't know, 4 years ago, something like that. Yeah, I wish I had that back. Yeah, I'd like to have. I'd want that in my basement. I want that in my man cave on display. And I wish I had that back.
What a
Yes.
conversation that would be.
Yes.
Just an empty card. Why do you have an empty cardboard box?
That answers the questions. What are the things you regret selling the most that you wish you still had? That's an answer I give all the time. When I get that question. Yeah, thanks a lot, Elena. Now I feel.
Sorry.
Down in the dumps.
I know. Great. Great
Let's pick
impression.
him back up with another question. How about it?
Yes. So T4 Con 4 Tour on Instagram asked, what gave you the idea for the chase?
This was not my idea. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think this was my idea. I think Brian Sampson, who's our head of marketing, who's standing over there in the doorway, making sure I don't say anything stupid, and the team here, and our president John, I think they came up with the idea. If I'm not mistaken, I come up with some decent marketing ideas, but I think this was their idea. And they told me about it, and I said, that's great. And then I walked in here and I saw this, and I was like, oh, that's cool. What's that for? And they said, oh, that's for the morning show. It's going to be, we're getting a set laid out. And I said, well, how much does that cost me? And they said, you don't want to know. And I said, okay. And so that's the answer to that question, that there's 160 people who work here. It's crazy. You think about it. We started with just me and Dave in a little store in 91, and now we have 160 people, and it's still growing, especially as we open up in other parts of the world. And I'm fortunate that I have the right people, so I don't have to make every decision. I didn't come up with this idea. I've come up with some good ideas.
Right.
The website was a good idea. That was a good idea.
Not too shabby.
Hit Parade was my idea.
Yeah.
That was a good idea.
See?
Yeah, I've had some good ideas.
Adam's like, we should use this thing called the World Wide Web.
Yeah,
I'm telling
yeah.
you, it's taken over.
I'll tell you a great one. I remember Mike Phillips from Upper Deck calls me and goes, you got to see what these Cloud Chinchara guys are doing up in Canada, doing this live box breaking. I said, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. We're never going to do that. So I don't make some decisions I should make, and some decisions, some great ideas like this show were not mine at all. So
Oh man, that's good. That's good.
I could have made something up that I had in a dream, but I really didn't.
Fever dream, and here we are.
I woke up and I imagined this show called I had nothing to do with this.
And I saw me on episode 61 just answering anything these people asked
Episode
me.
61, yeah.
62, actually.
62?
Yeah. We're episode 62. Sorry.
Aaron
I'm
Judge.
off.
Episode 1.
Episode Aaron
Man.
Judge. Yeah.
So it's historic in many ways.
Historic.
So kind of back to the Netherlands store.
Mm-hmm.
Brian L. asks, what was the driving factors for you to open up in the Netherlands versus other countries? Was it that emerging market?
Yeah, we wanted to open. Well, we learned from, we're in Buffalo, New York, and Buffalo is not a major metropolis. You can open up a website anywhere and succeed. You do not have to be in New York City or Chicago or LA. And so one of the reasons we were successful is Buffalo was not that expensive to open a business and expand a business. Whereas if we were in New York City or something like that, I don't think we could have gotten to the point that we have. So when we looked at Europe, we needed a brick and mortar store because I kind of promised the manufacturers we'd have some kind of flagship store people could walk into. But really, we just needed a location with a warehouse so we could ship and receive merchandise. And Germany was the obvious place. We're going to go to Germany. It's our number one. Germany and England are our number one countries as far as selling trading cards to from here.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to Germany. But the Netherlands was much easier to create a legal business entity as an American company to open a business. So what we did was we opened in the Netherlands this far from Germany. It's like Canada right now is like a 20-minute drive from here.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Germany is like a 20-minute drive from our store in the Netherlands.
That's
something
awesome.
like that. So we opened very close to Germany, but we found that from a business perspective, it made more sense to open in the Netherlands.
Now, I know you've had, obviously, multiple trips over there in the process of getting the store, opening it, and that. Through your eyes, someone who is an ambassador of the industry and has been around for some years, how do you feel the culture of collecting in North America is different over there than over there in Europe?
How is the culture different? It's a good question. It's still really new over there. So the answer to that question is probably changing fairly frequently. I know that, we just did a show in Paris. Our group did a show in Paris, and next week they're doing a show in Munich. And I don't know if you remember the days, if you've been around as long as I have, like in the 90s, when it really started to explode, you go to these little card shows, and like 400 people would come in, And they'd be so excited because it was new. And it was this small, tight-knit community. And that's what Europe is right now. You know, the show in Paris has got millions and millions of people. And I don't know how many people came in. I don't want to, maybe 1,000 people came to the show. And Munich will be the biggest show they've ever had. You know, and maybe they'll get 5,000 people, maybe more. But it feels there how it felt here in the 90s when it was just starting to really grow. And that when I was starting to get into it. So I don't know if I've answered your question exactly right, but I would say collectors over there, I've met a number of collectors. They're collecting specific players, like it was in the 90s. I mean, it is now still.
Sure.
But it feels like the early days for me, of how the card business was here when I was getting started is what it feels like over there. But because of the internet, they're able to, it's still worldwide, so they're able to buy boxes from here, boxes from us there. They're on eBay. They're buying up cards that they want. And so it's still early in that it's just tight-knit group of collectors with varying interests, but it's just growing and growing and growing, and we're hoping to contribute to that growth over there.
I say it almost has to have a little bit of a good nostalgic feel to you when you're over there because, you know, it has that like, wow, it's like the 90s again.
It does, yeah.
Absolutely. And now, how much has the hobby changed since you began collecting? And what do you wish never changed about the hobby?
Well, I'll start with the second part first, and that is all things change. And so I do miss when it was this tighter community. You know, I was telling somebody when Dave and I opened our store in 91, you know, and we were there for a few years, and it was just myself and Dave, we would, you know, it'd be slow. There was no internet. There was no website. We hadn't even started mail order yet. So when there was no one in the store, we'd just sit back in the store and play Sega hockey.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you know, it wasn't fair. You know, Jeremy Roenick could score every time he skated across the crease and roofed it. I mean, you couldn't stop him. So I missed that. I mean, we would open up the store and do a few $100s in sales and then go out to happy hour. I mean, it was an easier time.
Yeah.
I mean, now, you know, have 160 people. I mean, it's not easy. There's hundreds of people and their families who rely upon me for their livelihoods. And so it's different, right? I mean, so you're successful, which is great, but those were easier times.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things I want to do, which is kind of funny. I'm going to tell you something I want to do. I'm going on a little tangent.
Okay, go right
we
ahead.
talked about is anytime I'm in like a small community, I'm driving. I love to drive, especially around the Northeast during the warmer months. Mm-hmm. And I'll go through a small community and I'll see a little empty shop, you know, in a town of maybe 1,000 people, and I'll say, oh, we should absolutely do a Dave and Adams pop-up in this store in this little town.
Yeah.
You know, like Spirit Halloween does, but in big cities, right?
Yeah.
What if we did just like a 3-day pop-up in some town? We don't tell anybody we're going to do it. You know, we get in there, we get the cameras going, and then we post, hey, we're in the store, and maybe we have, you know, Prism basketball for $3.99 a box. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a limited, you know. Right. What will happen? Where will people come from to go to this? So it's something that I want to do. I kind of want to go back to those days or opening stores where there are no stores with prices that are untouchable in the entire industry, just to see what happens when we do that.
And I feel like
if we put one like on top of a mountain somewhere, and it's really, you know, you can come and get a free box of cards. Well, who will make
climb
it
up there? Yeah.
If you get a free box of Prism basketball, if you got to come to this, you got maybe get a drive up there. I'll make you climb.
Yeah. And
what do people show up? I don't know. It's something we're gonna do next year. I'll just spoil it right now.
I feel like that is an emerging thing too, where you see a lot of pop-ups now. Mm-hmm. Pop-ups are becoming popular, so I feel like that is obviously for the card game.
But with growth, for me, things, you know, it's more responsibility. There's more stress.
Sure.
And so I look back and I enjoy the less stressful times a lot. But you can't go backward, and I'm proud of what we've grown here. So, and what was the first part of the question again?
So the first part of the question was, how much has the hobby changed since you began collecting?
All right. Well, that's kind of they go hand in hand. I mean, there was no internet. The biggest thing was the Sports Collectors Digest was the internet for us, and you paid $27 or something like that an issue to get your Sports Collectors Digest, like your Super Beckett type thing with just all ads. You paid to get it FedEx to you, so you got it Monday. before other people got it on Wednesday. So you could go to Dave Greenhill's ad or something and see what he was doing. Or you go, 9091 Upper Deck High French Hockey, only $500 a box. I've got to get some of that for the store because we get 25 a pack. So, and then the internet came along and eBay came and things just changed dramatically. But the mail order days, you think back, and there's guys who've been doing it way longer than me, everything was done through the mail. Trades were done through the classified ads. That's how Dave and I got started, building up our following out there was just through classified ads and the Sports Collectors Digest back in the 80s. So that's pretty dramatic. The internet
was
internet's here to stay, folks. It's not going anywhere. And so that's the biggest difference.
Yeah. And you know what, too? For all you Western New York viewers out there, obviously we're taking a global approach, but, for the Western New York viewers, you don't realize this guy was on Bird and Elmwood. So when he says happy hour, good bar, whatever else was open at that time, it was easy. There's stuff up and down that strip.
500 square feet.
There you go. 500 square feet. And to
it's
think.
Like smaller than this, right?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
It's like the size of the room we're in right now.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. So next one here is from PJ again. He says the price of collecting has seen a steady rise. How does DACW balance the fact there is a surge of flippers, he uses that term, trying to buy product to make profit while being a store hobbyist can rely on for reasonable products?
Right. So it's a good thing. So it's a good point. So if we're talking about our stores, we try to put as many things into our stores that are less than on the website. Give people a reason they come into the store, give them some deals that are better than on the website. And our store in the Netherlands, almost every product in there and on the Netherlands website is lower than the website here, except we don't ship to anywhere but in Europe. So if you're there in St. Louis and you're like, I got to go on that website and buy some stuff, we're not going to ship it to you. So don't do that. But so I think that the market has come down. It's getting harder to flip. If you even the days of, going into Walmart and Target and seeing empty shelves. Remember those days?
Yes. Yeah.
Those are pretty much coming to an end. Other than the Prisms of the world, now that Prism basketball blasters are $35 and you can find them, $40. Mm-hmm. The days of buying and flipping are those days, especially for retail items, kind of have come to an end. So I think that there was a lot of flipping a year ago. I don't think there's that much now, so it's not really a concern for ours. But we do, if we're talking about stores and hobbyists as it relates to that. I mean, we do try to have deals in our shops that are less than the website, give people a good reason to come in.
Yeah,
I think I answered that.
I think you did too.
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
Going back to the changing conditions of the hobby and the industry, how much do you feel social media and content creation has kind of changed the game of the hobby? Yeah,
and we were a little late to the party on that. Again, just like breaking, we saw all these guys doing all these great things with content, and you think about it. I mean, we're definitely in the conversation for largest car dealers in the world. Yeah. Certainly with the international scope we have, what we're able to accomplish, the volumes of boxes that we sell, which are crazy, really, when you think about it. If you see, we have 4 warehouses, we're moving to this new giant building and everything just... and so there's all these influencers out there, and we're not one of them. Now, maybe we're becoming more of one. People come look at our website for boxes, but I see I see these really entertaining videos, really entertaining content from these guys that some of them weren't even in this business 3 years ago. And other ones are really great shops and young people doing these very creative things. And so I think it really has changed. You see like my friend Ryan at Card Collector 2, the content that he creates. I subscribe to him on YouTube. Mm-hmm. I think it's super interesting what they're able to do, and they're growing this business through creating entertaining content. And that's what this is, right? So I think it's been enormous from one main perspective, and that is young people. When you watch Ryan's videos, you see young guys come up and get pictures with him, kids. Yeah. Right. And these guys are doing these trade nights, like either at the National or in their stores. They're doing things that encourage kids to come in. And And we used to do like kids' nights and things like that. It was okay in our store. But once you're up on YouTube and you're entertaining and you're creating this content, suddenly you're seeing a resurgence of young people, kids,
Right.
coming into the business. And that's what it's really, really helped, is creating that new generation. Absolutely, that's what content creation, the number one thing that it's done, my opinion.
And too, that's a good point that you bring up the kids. Besides the obvious of having them being brought up as collectors, how important do you think it is to tap into that kids market, for the industry?
Well, one thing the manufacturers used to do is they used to say, "Oh, kids, we're going to make them opening day. We're going to make them victory hockey." Back in the day, we're going to make them these low price point things. Well, that's great because the price points are reasonable. But your savvy 12-year-old, he doesn't want to buy that. He understands that he wants to try to pull something decent.
Yeah.
And granted, it's not inexpensive. It's not inexpensive to be in this hobby, whether you're an adult or a kid. But the kids are out there and they're wheeling and dealing in $20, $50 cards or more.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the industry kind of missed the boat early on, was to try to get kids in. They would give them things that didn't have a lot of collector value to them. Thinking that's an entry point. And that does work to some extent. But now, I like what Panini has done with the kids' crates, where it's actually some fairly decent retail SKUs repackaged at a fair price, where you can get something decent.
Yeah.
They're not dollar packs. They're better than that.
Right.
So I think the manufacturers have all recognized that most kids, they're looking at their cards on eBay. Like Yu-Gi-Oh! Never got that. I know we jumped topics. They reprint everything.
Right.
As if a kid doesn't look at his $100 card and then you reprint it, goes to $20. And you think that kid's going to go out and keep buying Yu-Gi-Oh! I think that's a bad strategy for them. It's why they're third in the collectible card game world. So I think kids are much more savvy today. I think the manufacturers recognize it. I know Fanatics, it's on their list for hobby growth. So
Yeah.
Did that answer that question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No. So I see your hand way up in the air. I don't want you to hurt your shoulder.
I know.
So let's get to Elena. She's got another one from the chat. Elena.
We have a question from Bloomy. He's asking more about breakers. Do you plan on having any European stores breaking at all?
Yeah, absolutely. We are sending. Can I talk about this, Brian? Yeah. So we're sending one of our breakers is going over to the Netherlands at the beginning of December. Getting that right? And he's going to be training some of our guys over there to break. We're going to maybe go a little backyard-esque and be a little out of the box. They don't have that over there. We're not going to do like Bill's Mafia jumping through tables breaks, and and we're not going to have shirtless guys running around the street doing breaks. But we're going to try to be entertaining.
Yeah.
So there are some good breakers over there. But we may take that over the top approach. But to answer the questions, I would expect us to be breaking actively in Europe by the first part of this year, and we think that they need that over there. But their laws there are a little tighter than the laws here, so we're still exploring. We may be able to do team breaks for these countries and offer them to these countries, and some countries may not be able to do that. So we have to understand what the legality of it is.
Sure.
But we would expect to have breaking up and running in Europe very, very soon.
Okay.
And in fact, I'll just plug the website over there, is that for the customers of the website there, when we initially launch our breaks, they will be free. So in order to start to grow our following over there, initially customers of the website and people who come into the shop will be able to participate in good, decent box breaks, better higher end stuff.
Sure.
For free.
So there you go. Make sure you are checking out the David Adams EU website for that.
If you're there. You have to be there, though.
You have to be there.
Can't be in Boston. Can't be in
Cannot
Poughkeepsie.
be in Boston.
Have to be over there. So
I mean, why would you even want to be in Poughkeepsie? Am I right? I'm just kidding. I've never been there. I don't want to offend anybody from Poughkeepsie.
Poughkeepsie's okay. I've been to
I was gonna say, it could be a great place, and you're just
Poughkeepsie's fine.
I'm sorry. Okay, I am sorry.
Poughkeepsie, Watertown, it's all
love Watertown.
All
Big
great.
Watertown guy.
All great.
All right.
so. People want to know more about the T206. AJ asks, what was the motivation for David Adams acquiring the Wagner? And was it to complete a set, to display, or just have a piece of history like that?
So it's all of the above. So like I mentioned in the first part of the show, I was only missing 3 cards from the set, and I never thought that I would own any of them. But now I'm fortunate enough, we won the Wagner. I will tell you that it's the 5th time I've tried to buy one, and I just keep losing every time. So it was nice to finally win. Our head of finance, I said, hey, you may need to budget this expense. And he goes, what are you kidding? You're never going to win. You lose every time. So that was part of it. And then I thought it would be fun to do, we're going to do some crazy, like, I talked with you, I think, about we're going to do, like, take it to a bar and
Yes.
walk up to people and then go, hey, what do you know, like, we'll give you $100 if you can tell us what this card is worth. And we'll do some fun marketing things with it. But owning a piece of card history, again, I mentioned that 52 case. I wish I had that back. Mm-hmm. But it is nice to own as a collector, as someone who's been in this forever. Even if I weren't working on the set, I mean, who wouldn't want to own that? Who doesn't want to own that card? It's the holy grail of baseball cards. So
I'm picturing me having a day with Honus, and the underlying music will be like, people, let me tell you about my best friend. And we'll just be going around the city, and we'll just have a lot of fun. Yeah?
I like it. Write it down. It's happening.
There you go. Write it down.
It's going to happen.
All right, Elena, it looks like we have another one from the chat. What do you got?
Yeah, this is a first-time chatter. Sweet Bee 2922 says, Adam, how would you advise someone starting a shop with rent being somewhat high and there being small margins?
Well, Brian Gray said something a couple years ago. Let me backpedal just a second. I stop at every card store that I can. I just went to one in Lubbock, Texas, Lone Star. Shout out to you. Nice shop, right? And when you go into Lone Star, it's showcases and showcases of singles and a little bit of unopened, because unopened is tough to get. And when you do get it, it's tighter margin. So Brian Gray mentioned a couple years ago at a conference, he said, for the first time ever, you can open up a store now with just singles. 10 years ago, if I would drive around and I would go to a store and they didn't have like a bunch of different packs and boxes you could buy, and it was only singles, I would say, well, that's a pretty lousy store. Mm-hmm. And nowadays, with the singles market and the collecting grown so much, you can have a really nice, successful store with a lot of singles, because people are always selling their collections. And so I will say, if you're going to open up a store, you have to be very creative in how you try to obtain unopened, because you do need to try to get it. You want to apply with Topps/Fanatics for baseball and F1, of course, and you want to get into gaming, get Pokemon. You can always get Pokemon and Magic. It's a little tougher, but you should have that. And then you want to get your name into Courtney at Panini. It's going to take you a year, but you want to get your name in there. Mm-hmm. And with Upper Deck also, especially if you're in a hockey market. Yeah. But the Marvel product they sell, if you can get Marvel, the margins are terrific. So, but you want to be prepared to open up and have a lot of your money come from singles, from buying and selling from the public. And that's what you have to do right now, because it's just so hard. I mean, you can go on my site, Blowout, Steel City. These are all good guys. We're all good people. But you're not going to get anything from us at wholesale. And you can go to a traditional distributor like GTS or Peach State, and you get an account, and maybe you'll get a box or two, but they don't have enough product to take care of their existing accounts. Mm. So the market's the best it's ever been, and you can have good financial backing and open up a beautiful store and still not be able to get enough unopened boxes to take care of that community. Yeah. So you really have to try to think, how can I make money buying from the public, from other collectors? Maybe people are getting out, so you can make 40 or 50 points margin on your singles, because you're not going to make it on the unopened.
Great advice.
I'd say so.
It's the way to do it. It's the only way to do it right now.
Well, I'd say one of us in this room has been in this business for 30-something years. The rest of us, not so much. Yeah. So that's what I'll say. Combined less than that. So that's what I'll say on that. I'd say that's pretty sound advice. Another one I had for you, this is just kind of me off the cuff here, if you don't mind. But, we talked earlier about emerging markets. We've been talking about sports cards, but you brought up Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon. Mm-hmm. So kind of a twofold. One, is there anything that you've kind of seen emerging that you're kind of keeping your eye on in terms of a product or a TCG or something that you're looking at? And then can you give me like maybe one that you've seen in the past that was just absolutely like a miss?
A miss. Like one that I should have bought that I didn't buy?
That's a good point. I meant like a miss that was like maybe you bought in or you looked at, and then it was just like, what is this?
That was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Well, you know, so one of the ways that we work that a lot of people don't understand is we do get a wholesale allocation from the manufacturer. Mm-hmm. But generally speaking, after that amount won't take care of your customer base. So you need to go out into the secondary market and buy more.
Yeah.
And so just one that I was looking at today, we went out and sourced quite a bit of select basketball. And if I could undo it, I would. And it happens all the time.
Yeah.
So you have to be ready for disappointment. You'll sit there and say, this case is going to be 8,000, 9,000. That's what it should be. And then it comes out and it's not that. You bought a whole bunch of it at 6,500 and now you're upside down.
Right.
So this happens all the time. I mean, I can think of some of my biggest mistake. My first one was Stadium Club Batman. When we opened the new store, I said, Dave, we should buy the Stadium Club Batman from the tobacco. That's my tobacco candy wholesaler. It's how we used to have to get everything back in the day. And we bought it. I'm going to break this Batman Stadium case down and make sets. Oh, it was a disaster. No one ever bought a set. We moved to the store 3 years later. We're going through a box. I'm like, oh, there are those sets I put together. That was terrible. So I just remember that because we lost like $200.
Yeah.
When couldn't afford to lose $200. So I have a number of stories like that. Mm-hmm. But then we also have ones where, we talk about gaming. Pokemon was starting to rise in 2020 when everything's kind of going up. I noticed that, so we were able to buy boxes wholesale, like in the $75 range. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, we'll buy them at $75 and we'll have them on the website at $99 and we'll just have to be fine with that margin to stay competitive. And I noticed we were selling Evolution XY Pokemon boosters for $119. We were buying them at $75 and selling them for $119. And they're selling really well. And I went to our gaming manager and I said, why are you not listening to what I'm telling you? You can buy them at $75. We want to grow our gaming footprint. We're going to grow more gaming collectors. That should be $99.95 because you buy them at $75.
Yeah.
And he says, because when I put it out at $119.95, it just flies. So I said, well, maybe we should buy a bunch of that before it goes out of print.
Sure.
And we bought a lot, and then went to $1,000 a box. So that was a good one.
Wow.
Now it's down to $700 because everything's kind of coming back down.
Sure.
But at the same time, that was a really good idea.
Yeah.
I wish I had more of those.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But that was just a case where I said, well, if it's that good, let's just buy it and put it away.
Yeah.
And so those of us I mentioned Blowout and Steel City and ourselves, one thing that we've been able to do is over the years been able to sit there and say, look, this is a good rookie class and it's undervalued right now in the marketplace and we're going to buy it and we're going to wait. I mean, there's a lot of I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of baseball coming out right now. And almost every year I've been doing this, baseball gets pushed into the calendar late, and it comes out in November, doesn't do well.
Right.
And then January, February, March, it gets good again.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying go out and buy baseball and, go out and buy baseball from your local shop boxes and put them aside because you're still paying closer to retail than we would have to pay.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, baseball gets soft now, and we buy it, and we hold on to it, and we sell it in February and March when it goes back up.
Yeah.
And that's happened every year, except the crazy years, 2020, 2021, when everything went up.
Right.
But we're kind of back to that cycle. Like, this is not a great retail time for baseball.
Yeah.
Why would it be?
Right.
It's done. The season's over.
Right. You're going into the offseason.
No new rookies are out there playing. You got a couple games left for the World Series, and that's it.
Yep.
Right.
So now is a great time for guys like us. We buy baseball and we put it away. And sometimes we look at, 2020 football looked like it had some really good quarterbacks in it. And so we put a lot of 2020 football away. So we won't run out of 2020 Prism for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, those are good ideas.
Yep.
But we also put 2021 football away, and it's gone.
Right.
Because nobody's really performing like we want them to in 2021.
Yeah.
So you take the good with the bad. But
yeah, absolutely. Big baseball guy, real quick. How do you feel about your Cardinals having Arenado opt in on his 5th year?
I'm happy. Of course I'm happy.
Uh-huh.
Was he top 5 in the MVP balloting probably? So,
Yeah, more than likely, yeah.
It's I didn't understand why he did it, but thank you if you're listening. really
appreciates it.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate you doing that. So
I got one more.
Go ahead.
And it's from the chat. Ray A. To use your imagination.
Oh, I
Ray
get it.
Remowitz.
Ray A asks, "What are your favorite pair of shoes that you own?
One of my favorite pair of shoes that I own.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I would show you what I'm wearing now, but they're like basically like my beat up slipper shoes I wear when I'm out in the yard with the dogs.
No grass stains though.
Favorite pair of shoes that I own. So I don't know. I started getting like other people. I started getting into some of these limited edition Nikes, and so I started filling them with StockX, and so I've got some pretty good ones. I just got a pair of Nike Dior's that's pretty great. Haven't worn them yet. They look really cool in the box, so I'll wear those once in a while. So it's gotten to the point with shoes that, you know, when I used to, if we went out to like a function and you got on a blazer, you know, and you'd be wearing some kind of like nice, you know, Louis Vuitton shoes or something, like men's shoes. Now I just wear some limited edition Nike sneakers that I bought on StockX, so that's a little different. So I think the Dior's are the favorite ones that I have now, but I haven't worn them, but I will.
For sure.
Some people just put them in the closet and put them away. I wear them, so I guess that's my favorite pair of shoes that I own.
Yeah.
So,
how do you feel about things like that almost being emerging markets in collectibles?
Ray
Like,
has seen those shoes, I think. By the way,
so she knew you were going to answer that.
So I think so. There's another pair that I'm trying to get that I don't have yet, so I won't talk about them.
But I'm just wondering, how do you feel about things like that? Like, I know it seems like sneakers are becoming very collectible. Even like vintage clothes, I'm seeing becoming very collectible.
Right. So my wife and one of her good friends, they went to the Bills game last night. I'm wearing the hat today. They went to the Bills game last night, and her friend were all this like 80s and 90s retro Bills stuff that her parents had in the closet. And my wife is sent me a picture of what she's wearing. And I said, I didn't go to eBay. I think she's wearing $1,000 worth of Bills clothes. Because like old starter jackets, old sports, any big teams, old hats, old shirts, all that type of stuff is super collectible now. Yeah, old clothes. So there's nothing that isn't super collectible now. I liked the movie Jaws. Have you guys seen the movie Jaws? I liked the movie Jaws. And I thought, okay, well, sealed VHS tapes is the thing now.
Yeah.
And you get them graded. Yeah. Right? And I thought, well, how cool would it be to have like the first VHS release of Jaws? So there's one in Heritage right now. It's at $13,000.
Oh God!
Right? Look, there's collectability everywhere you look.
Yeah.
And someone might have found that in a garage sale for like $5.
Yep.
You know, there's an opportunity everywhere, right? And now I'm not gonna. We did buy a Honus Wagner card, but I don't care enough about VHS tapes to pay that for a copy of Jaws.
Right. Jaws is good, but
again, you know, I mean, video games, sealed video games, things that are rare. Sealed VHS tapes are rare from the early '80s. Who didn't open that up? Who got that as a gift? And just somebody got that as a gift and went, oh yeah, I don't even own a VHS player. I'm just gonna put that here.
Somebody's
And they
like,
find it 40 years later, and now they're gonna get who knows how much for it.
What's what I mean? Is somebody like, I've already seen this, so I'll just keep this one sealed. Like, like you said,
Yeah.
who's not watching that?
Sometimes I love that movie. I'm gonna keep that sealed.
Yeah. I still have a VHS player. That's all I'm saying. I still have VHSs.
Yeah, I'm trying to collect all the original Beatles albums still sealed, like never opened. Like who didn't
my
open?
God,
They're
really?
out there. They're out there. They're not as rare as you would think. They're on.
Really?
There'll be a few up on eBay for auction. You know, every few weeks, so you'll find some. And who bought a Beatles album in the '60s and just kept it in the shrink wrap and just put it away?
I know. Well, that's because
Didn't happen.
I do a lot of vinyl too, and I remember I got Ozzy Osbourne "No More Tears." I had to pay $175 for it because it was a first pressing, but it was opened. So it is. It's just like you said. Anybody has a chance at anything, but
There's a tip. So you asked me like I think that sealed vinyl. Once somebody starts grading sealed vinyl, it's
I
coming.
agree.
I think you're going to see that go up. So
I agree.
don't mortgage your house for it, but.
No.
You know, you remember, you heard it here. If you hadn't heard of that before, you heard it here first. It's sealed vinyl.
I feel like that's all you right there.
Me? Oh yeah. I'm writing notes down as we speak about what I should do with my vinyl.
I might own 10 plus copies of Thriller sealed and some early Madonna sealed. I mean, it just seems like a good investment. It's cheap.
You're just telling me this now?
I'm just telling you this now.
I didn't know. Now I got to talk
I'm
vinyl.
telling the other people. I'm just saying. I think there's.
We won't. Yeah.
I think there's room there.
I think so, too.
I think there's room for collectability there. Some of it's pretty rare.
Well said. I agree too. I thought
Someone
the
has
same
to
thing.
Someone has to make this holder though. Someone's gonna do it, and then it's gonna change.
Just wait.
Yep.
All right. I know we're kind of getting down here to the hour mark, but Elena, one more question.
Yeah. Absolutely.
From the chat.
To kind of end it, can you tease ahead to anything? Do you plan on bringing in something besides what you have now, whether that's to retail, whether that's to e-commerce? That's from T4 Con4 Tour.
Am I going to bring in anything new?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. So we had been using, so we have a 40,000 square foot store in Buffalo. And because the market was blowing up and we started running out of space, we started using the back of it for storage and for operations for Hit Parade and other things. And now we're going to just blow out the whole thing and make it 40,000 square feet of retail space again. We got to put something back there. Besides air fried wings, something has to go in the back of that store. And so it has been a discussion. It's been like, what else are we going to carry? So we carry like Bills and Sabres apparel and collectibles and comics and all kinds of things in there. But now we're going to have like another 10,000 square feet. What are we going to put in there?
Golf simulator?
So it's a very good golf simulator. It's not a bad idea, but that won't help you know on the website. So,
True.
So we're looking. I'll tell you, I don't have an answer for you, but we're actively looking at something else that we can retail. But we wouldn't be much of a business if we didn't think, well, if we're going to sell it in our store here, is it something that we can sell online?
Yeah.
True.
So we're looking, but we buy everything. That's the craziest thing, because for Hit Parade, I mean, I don't know if people realize that you don't think of us as a coin dealer, but we buy a lot of coins because we do Hit Parade with graded coins.
Yes. Yep.
So we're buying. There's not a whole lot of collectible things we haven't bought. I mean, we're not buying wine or art
Yet.
or anything yet.
Yes.
Yeah, but right now we're looking for something because we have this space, and it would make sense to have it on the website also, especially once we move into a new building. We'll have more room to carry different things. So we're looking. We're looking, but I don't have an answer yet.
Always looking. Always looking. Well, I think that kind of wraps up our Ask Me Anything portion of the show.
Yeah.
So, Adam, how'd we do?
I got
Everything
off easy.
okay?
Yeah, I think everything's good.
Yeah. You enjoyed yourself?
I did.
Okay. But I like it. I feel like we had some cliffhangers there where we'll have to eventually get you back on.
Well, I'll come on. How about if I come on show 100?
I think that makes sense.
Put it in the calendar.
Right?
Put it in the calendar.
Well, I mean, that is if you guys are still working here and all that.
Ooh.
So we have
Fingers
to decide,
crossed.
We
Keeping
have
us
to
on our
decide our
toes.
budget's coming up, right, Brian? And we'll decide if we want to keep this. I'm just kidding. Show 100.
Show 100.
Show 100.
Have your people call my people. We'll get it set up.
This is what it's
I
like.
know you're- I
for
know
those of you watching, this is what it's like, working for me.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're still working for me next year, people love my sense of humor.
He walked by me the one day. He goes, "I just invited a bunch of people to Florida, and you're not going to be able to go."
You can't
I
go.
was just like, "All right."
All right.
I just like,
Well, it was
okay.
based upon seniority. You haven't been here.
No. And
So,
listen, just a joke. I was filling up my water, and I was like, "All right, this is what about the day."
Yeah.
So thank you so much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to get to our box rip giveaway. So
Okay,
you're
I'm out.
free to go. You are
Okay,
free.
thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Round of applause. How about some virtual hands in the chat? Thank you, Adam. Appreciate it.
Adam, do you want your water?
No, you can eBay that if you want.
Okay, got
There
it.
you go. One of one, Adam Martin water. We're going to put that on eBay. Watch out for later. Guys, there's 1,200 of you in the chat right now. Thank you so much staying with us. We've got two things to do. Yes, two things to do. I see you guys in the chat. We have 10 gift codes to give away. I believe that is Tyler Prigineri. Yes, that's right. Director of content. We have 10 $50 gift codes to give away to you guys, as well as the contents of this Chronicles box. But before we do that, Mr. Stevens, can I get the overhead camera? We need to announce the winner from last week. Let me zoom in a little bit here. There we go. Okay. So if you guys remember, on Friday, we opened up Select Draft Picks Football. And what we did is we asked you guys to please give us your favorite college football athlete of all time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, can I get a little bit of a drum roll? And bang, here we go. The winner is at NAAC1218 from Twitch with the answer of Ed Reed. So this is how we're going to reveal things from now on. The winners are going to be in a beautiful one touch. There you go. NAAC1218 from Twitch with the answer of Ed Reed. Please look out for a whisper from us. And once you get that whisper, please make sure that you send us your information to thechase@dacardworld.com. So there you go.
Former Bills defensive coach.
Former Bills defensive coach, Ravens great, and then, of course, from the U, How do they do it? The U. He's from the U, baby. So there you go. All right, so there you have it. Congrats on that. Look for a whisper. Make sure you are reaching out to us, thechase@dacarlo.com. But now we have a fresh rip for you guys. 2022 Chronicles Baseball. That's right. 4 hits, 8 cards per pack, 6 cards per box. Bang. Let's put it in there. And, oh.
Ruined it.
There you go. Soiled it. No liquid death for me today. I ran out of liquid death, guys. I ran out of liquid death. I need to go restock. Okay, here we go. Good luck, everybody. How do we want the folks at home to enter this one?
Man, we just did favorite World Series moment, the last baseball rip, correct?
Should we do? Oh yeah, you had one. I thought in the can, right? Didn't we have one?
Wasn't it like World Series? Who's gonna win? How many games? Something like that.
Yeah, how many games do you think the World Series is going to go? There you go. How many games do you think the World Series is going to go?
And
so right now, enter in the chat, or of course, when you watch the YouTube replay, make sure you enter there too.
Okay. Yeah.
All right? So how many games do you think the World Series is going to win, and who's going to win?
Yeah.
Who's going to win, and in how many games, please?
So, for example, Astros in 5, Phillies in 5.
Yeah, so
something like that.
Who's going to win, and in how many games? All right, 6 packs, 3 and 3 for us. Which ones do you want to take, left or right?
Right, please.
He's going to go from the right, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like you got some thick boys there. Hand it off to David. And then can we please go to the thank you? We got some. Hey, guys, I just want to say thank you for your viewership. First episode at 11 a.m. We'll be here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11, bringing you the best in the hobby here. There you go. Empty box. Here's the packs.
Yeah, really appreciate the viewership today, guys. Adam, great interview.
Yeah, shout out Adam
Great
for sure.
insight on the hobby. You know, just a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that discussion. All right.
I'm really looking forward to these. I've seen some decent hits out of these.
Everybody was complaining that I was fingerprinting the LeBron James, so I'll make sure I'll try to do my best to not do that today. All right, let's go from the top. We've got Mike Yastrzemski there.
On the Obsidian. Nice.
There you go, Obsidian Mike Yastrzemski. Josiah Gray rookie card. Rookie of C.J. Abrams.
Oh, that's a good one.
Cutter Crawford. What a name. Cutter with a K. Baseball players have the best names.
Yeah.
I swear. Rated rookie of Ashby. That's an acetate rated rookie. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. That is Titan. Season ticket of Reed Detmer's rookie. And
hitter.
who do we have here?
Oh, boy.
It's a thick one. Little ding there. Just be cautious of that. Brian De La Cruz out of 199. Ooh. How about a rookie patch auto from Spectra of Brian De La Cruz? Napkin patch. Rookie patch auto out of 199. Sick.
I think he's really underrated.
That is unreal.
I think he's going to end up having a decent career, hopefully in Miami. So
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Our first hit, an RPA. Remember, 4 hits in this box. Let's go. Next pack.
Troy's off to a hot start, everybody.
Hot start, everyone.
Hot start. Hot soup.
Hot soup. Okay, what do we got in here? A couple of thick cards in the back. I think this might be a base pack. Might be a base pack here. But how about a Classics Wander Franco right off the top? Love to see it. And then right behind him, a Marquee O'Neal Cruz.
Wow.
Ooh, and then another Wander certified.
What is going on?
Okay. Hell of a pack here. And then we have Otto Lopez, rookie for Toronto, acetate there. Kyle Muller, rookie. Ooh, is this a cracked? Yeah, this is a cracked ice. Shane Baz. Cracked ice here. Numbered to just 25.
Wow,
there we go. 12
nice.
of 25. Shane Baz.
Baz is also like a really underrated guy for the Rays, I believe.
Look at that. Cracked ice.
That's
beauty.
beautiful.
Okay, and then the rest of the pack goes Gossman. And we've got there you go, Seiya Suzuki, Obsidian rookie.
Damn.
Very
There's
nice.
some nice rookies in that.
Heavy
pack.
on the rookies here. All right, last pack for me. It's all about that Baez. All about that Baz, no trouble. Because you know I'm all about that Baz. Out that Baz, no trouble. I haven't sang today, so I figured we need to do it once.
Yeah, you gotta get one in there.
Nice polls. Thank you, Uncle Brian. Appreciate you. Okay, looks like we have a backwards card here. So you know how that goes?
Yes.
All right, Seager, rookie of Gavin Sheets out of 99.
Nice. Recon? Yep.
Recon out of 99. Another Gavin Sheets here. Wow, back-to-back Gavin Sheets. This one limited. Jose Siri. Siri.
Now on the...
How many games is Houston going to lose in? I'm trying to start trouble.
Siri's actually on the Rays now.
Corey
Fun
Seager.
fact.
All right. Luis Frias. Rookie Crusade. Aaron Judge Titan. There you go.
Nice.
And this was flipped around, so let's do a little reveal here, shall we? Arizona autograph.
Is it Ketel Marte? Is it
Drew Ellis. Ooh, okay. Wow, that is a rookie draft ticket, though, out of 99. All right, rookie draft ticket, Drew Ellis.
Good looking card right there.
All right. Nice.
Nice.
Nice. All right, let's flip it over to David. He's going to get us for 3 here. Nice.
Right. Remember, got my eye on you. Sorry.
This guy, huh? This guy.
Feeling very punny today.
Hey guys, make sure you're following us too on social media at DA Card World across all of our platforms. And then of course, The Chase has its own social media, DA_The Chase. Make sure. And don't forget, we are going to give away 10 $50 gift codes right after this. 10 $50 gift codes.
All right. Here we go. I have a lot of catching up to do. Kyle, this one's dinged. Jeez. Kyle Tucker. Tony Santillan, rookie. Angel Zerpa. Actually, it's Angel Zerpa, I believe. Rookie. Another rookie, Mike Bauman of Baltimore. That's the acetate card. Nice. Ronald Acuna Jr. on the season ticket. Cal Raleigh. This one, rookie, he is very underrated. Really helped Seattle in their playoff push. Albert Pujols on Spectra. That's fancy. And then Obsidian rookie Josh Lau.
Kyle Tucker, so hot right now. Hey, what's everybody dressing up for Halloween?
A lot of rookies in this so far.
What's sound off in the chat. I want to know your costume. Who's dressing up as what for Halloween?
Did you guys end up seeing my my costume for the day?
Hawaiian Punch.
Hawaiian
Oh, wow.
Punch.
It's a stranger. Stranger
Yes.
danger. We sure are. Stranger danger.
We just kept the door open today. All right. Let's see. All right, Ronald Acuna Jr.
Where's Waldo? I like that. I'm a farmer. Ellie is a cow.
TJ Friedel on the rookie. This is a pretty sweet looking card.
Ted Lasso, Bally says.
Oh, man. Elena, my favorite. Stephen Kwan.
What?
Stephen Kwan on
something
the
to say?
rookie.
Yeah. That's how the chase works.
Yordan Alvarez, still in the World Series. Having a great postseason. Acetate. Colton Welker on the rookie for Colorado. Crusade. Brandon Marsh also in the World Series now. In fact, look at this amazing Brandon Marsh card that I just drew up. Nice.
Harlequin, love that.
Right. Oh, and I just ruined it. But Chase McCormick, who was also in the World Series. Chase McCormick out of 99 on the auto. His
There you
auto
go.
almost looks like it says cha-cha.
Freddy Krueger, cha-cha. Cha-cha, real smooth. Boop, ba-doop, doop. Hobo Fuzz,
Chase
what? I would love
McCormick.
your costume?
And then Yordan.
You gotta
on
send
the
it to me.
Obsidian. Hi, Ross.
Just gonna send it.
It's kind of fun when we have the door open. Just say hi to all our
Yeah,
coworkers.
right?
Okay, so quick question for you.
All right.
Did you have 2 autos?
I did have 2 autos.
Okay. So that means I probably have one here. We do have a thick boy in the back here.
Thick boy. He's a thick boy.
All right, Trevor Story. let me tell you a story about Trevor's story. That was stupid. I'm sorry. Edward Cabrera, Miami on the rookie. Another rookie here for Detroit, Matt Manning. Another rookie, Seiya Suzuki
Nice.
on the rookie.
Full of dad jokes, Mr. Bliss. He is full of dad jokes today.
Tyler McGill from the Mets, rookie out of 199. Oh, and here we go. Another rookies galore.
No dolphin. No, where's the dolphin noise? Hit him with the dolphin noise for the first 11 a.m. Bo Jackson's asking for a dolphin noise.
Matt Brash. Fun fact about Matt Brash. Graduated from Niagara University, right around the corner from us. Rookie, Titan, Wander Franco. And then last but not least, let's see what we got.
Guys, if you're just joining us, we got an auto here. Elena's eating Cheetos.
Okay, Los Angeles.
Okay. All right, blue. So
Reed Detmers.
America's pastime. Flip that thing around. Okay, a little jersey
Little
here.
patch, yep. Hey, remember, Reed
Napkin
Detmers.
patch.
Reed Detmers threw a no-hitter this past
No
season.
hit.
So Reed Detmers on the patch.
If you guys are just joining us, remember to enter this giveaway, you have to give us who's going to win the World Series in how many games. We are giving away all the contents to this box. Every card that you just saw pulled here, we are giving away to someone either in the live chat or if you watch the YouTube replay and comment, you have a fair shot at what we just pulled. So remember that. But I think that's going to wrap it up for us today, eh?
Yep.
Make sure you are following the chase. DA_the chase. Follow DA Car World. Guys, we're going to be here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, bringing you the best live interview and guests in the hobby, as well as hobby news. And we're breaking a box every day. We literally break a box every episode of the chase, and we give it away to you. So make sure to continue to view. I think we did a great job today with the Ask Me Anything. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully we provided you with information. We are going to be on live on Instagram after this. Going to take a couple minutes, just unwind, and we got to package these up. But listen, we will be on Instagram right after this. The Chase Unplugged. Make sure you're sticking around for that. Really appreciate you guys for the kind words. Hope you enjoyed the AMA. I know we did. Adam was able to literally answer everything. We really appreciate him answering everything. But before we go, the codes. Thank you. I see you guys. Codes. Let's do the codes. All right.
Codes.
Can we do the codes?
We doing the codes?
Codes, guys, codes.
Codes.
I was teasing you, okay? I was testing you, and I was making sure that you remembered the codes, so thank you. You guys all passed, flying colors. All right, let's do the codes, shall we? You need to be typing in the chat, so get active right now. In order to win
Spam
these
us.
$50 codes for the store, make sure, spam. Literally spam. Type. Tip-tapperoo, please pick me.
Words.
Please let me sleep in your bed. For the love of God, give the kid some dignity. Let him sleep in your bed. Code spam. Everybody's spamming. If you want a chance to win one of the 10 $50 gift codes for dacarworld.com, make sure you are typing in the chat now. Ozzy, I see an Ozzy. I really did pay $175 for an Ozzy album. I am not ashamed at all.
Worth it.
Now I got to talk to Adam about vinyl now. I didn't know he was doing that. Vinyl's a lot of fun. Very collectible,
Now you know.
guys. And if you don't know, now you know. We got 1,300 in the chat. Come on, keep it moving here.
Jeez Louise.
Ozzy album. I love that. Is that kind of like Ozzy Elvis?
Did you comment
Kinda.
Flacco?
Flocka. No, people were commenting
Flacco.
Flacco. I go hard in the paint. Leave you stanking.
What the?
I can't even I see some Ozzy in the
Bad
chat.
words.
Ozzy Elvis. Give me the money. Who is going with those?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Rocket arm, nice butt, looks good in shorts. I mean, the guy's just an absolute stud. No, Josh Allen, not Flacco. Absolutely not. Is your mic still on? Did Stevens leave your mic on? No, you weren't even on. Now you are. All right,
Too
who
late.
is running the codes for us? I think somebody at home is running the codes for us. I believe it's Tyler. So let's give you guys another 30 to 45 seconds here, and then we're going to start running those codes. That's right. We are giving away 10 $50 gift codes to dacarworld.com.
The people want me for president.
Big shout out to the chat today. for
Chat was
participating.
buzzing. Yeah.
And sending us some great questions. I'm sure Adam really appreciated everyone's questions. So
What's that?
Hoodie T1 just won.
Hoodie T1.
Hoodie G1.
Hoodie G. Hoodie Allen. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody can DA Cardworld type in the chat who won. First one is Hoodie G. Hoodie G going away with
Hoodie
one
G1,
of.
he's in there. He said what?
Ah.
He said what?
What? You're damn right you won.
Hoodie G.
Oh, hell yeah, brother. That's
The man,
$50
the
to
myth.
DA Cardworld. DACardworld.com. Am I getting annoying yet? Oh, God.
How much do you think this Adam Martin Chase
Wouldn't
Hughes
it be
water
nice?
bottle is going to go for on eBay?
Guys, how much do you think the David? Yeah, how much do you think the Adam?
Trade 5.
All right, and then we got Anton Trey 5, Anthony. Just kidding, Anton Trey 5. You have won another one of the $50 gift codes. There you go. How do I get this? Look out for an email from us, please. We'll send you a whisper and then send us an email with your information. You are welcome, Anton. I don't know why Anton made me think of Anthony from Mean Girls. Mean Girls, remember? You know. Elena knows.
I do know.
The principal's nephew was Anthony.
Oh, and he was so mad about it.
Yeah, Anthony. Because his sister named him Anthony. Bloomy! Our buddy Bloomy, friend of the show. Bloomy has won one of the $50 gift codes as well. Congratulations, Bloomy.
Let's go.
Uh-oh. Somebody says they need gift codes for Sage. Meerkat, where are you? Meerkat.
Please, no more.
Meerkat's got to break,
All right.
break the unfortunate news.
Another winner, Hobby Guy VA. Hobby Guy VA, another winner of a $50 gift code. Congratulations to you, too.
Let's go.
Congrats, Hobby Guy VA. Well done. This
Anton
chat is
Trey's
going
in there.
nuts. Careless Whispers? Huh?
Manny Snook.
Manny Snook.
Manny
Snooky,
Snook.
what?
Manny,
Smush,
go Manny.
smush. Snooky. Manny Snook, another winner of the $50 gift codes, brother.
How many more codes we got left?
How many more codes? Yeah, how many we got left? 5 more, guys.
more.
5 more codes.
5 more codes.
75.
Hey, Beanpole 1129. Beanpole 1129.
Beanpole 1129. Are you skinny? Can I ask that question anymore? When I hear beanpole, I think of a skinny person, somebody who is what they call thin. Oh, boo! Meerkat, cat, boo! Meerkat's giving his back. No, I know. We're just messing around.
He's just gonna use it for more Sage.
Yeah, that guy's definitely gonna buy
No.
more Sage. The Diz,
The Diz? Yeah.
Dizzy.
the Diz. Let's go.
brother Diz. Guys, we've got some Chase faithful in here. People who have been with us since the 9 a.m. days.
James YU415.
James OU812.
James U415. James U.
James U 415, brother. Not
go.
420, 415. Another giveaway there. Congratulations. Yeah, 9 a.m. days last week. Exactly.
I can't believe Meerkat won one of them. Obviously.
Is there another
Meerkat
winner?
won, but-
Who was it?
Wahoos.
Wahoos!
No, wait. It just says he's been following.
Oh.
It already blasted.
Oh, buy my collectibles. Buy my collectibles. Right there. Go down a little bit. 8675309. Jenny's number. I know Jenny's number.
Buy my collectibles.
Buy my collectibles. I saw you win. I saw one in there. How about them Cowboys? Whee! Jessica, let's go.
First time chatter.
Last one. Drum roll, please. BJG.
BJG.
Kablammy. Ba-da-da-da. 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 Congratulations to all of our winners. Yes, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that is going to conclude our first 11 a.m. show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please join us on Wednesday. We'll be back Wednesday, same time, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. We'll have another box rip giveaway for you. We'll have another guest, and we'll be chatting about the hobby with you guys. Really looking forward to it. Make sure you catch us on Instagram after this, DA_the Chase. Make sure you're catching Card News Now with Meerkat. If you want the latest and insider news on the hobby. Make sure you're checking out Meerkat on Card News Now every day on our YouTube channel, DA Card World. Jersey John's going to be up next in the lounge with group bakes and personals all day long. Guys, let's send it out. We know what we're doing, right?
Welcome to 11 a.m. era.
Welcome to 11 a.m., baby. And just remember, it's all about the chase. Later, guys. Top chat, top
Come hang out
guys
with us.
out.
Come hang out with us on Insta.